Good morning, I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich, and this is a special edition update of Hermine. This is now a tropical storm and has made landfall last night on the Florida coastline here, right in this area right here, and then is moved off to the north. It is north of Valdosta, Georgia, by a pretty good bit here, and continues off to the northeast. Is going to eventually turn more northeasterly. We're starting to see that happen now. We're starting to pull more northeastward as it's going to be interacting with that trough. The entrance range of the trough is right about here, so it's going to be moving into that. And this will maintain some strength coming up the coast. It's going to transition from a warm chord hurricane and tropical storm, tropical cyclone, to a post-tropical cyclone or extratropical cyclone. And that's going to be a cold chord system. So once it gets up to the vicinity of our latitude, which we're concerned about now, is going to be essentially a nor'easter on steroids, especially for the New Jersey shore point. So this is nothing we haven't dealt with before. It's just been a while, but it will not be this powerful hurricane unless some extensive damage here in and around the Big Bend here area of Florida. Let's go over to the models and start off with the GFS. I'm going to show you a wide range. We'll get into the closer range after that. This is the look at where it is currently in southern Georgia. Again, it's down to a tropical storm now. This will be making a transition probably as it comes up the coast here. It's going to be taking a path kind of like this. Probably make a transition to post-tropical or extratropical right about here. And then it's going to get back over the water. There's been some speculation this stays warm chord. It's a long shot. It's not impossible. It gets back over the water, re-intensifies, that kind of thing. That's been some speculation. Odds are against it. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but odds are against it. We're going to consider this to be a nor'easter when it gets up to our latitude. And it's going to get up somewhere in this vicinity right here. May actually do a one of these little loops and retrogrades, kind of like this, and then just kind of meander around for a couple days and then head out in this direction. So it's going to do one of these numbers here, where it's going to kind of sit here, retrograde a little bit, maybe loop, and then come out like that. That's what I think is going to end up happening. But that really is good news for your interior locations, because that means we're not going to be dealing with too much in the way of impacts. I'm going to move this a little bit forward and show you what we're looking at. This is going forward to, let's see if we get to the right image. These are all tropical tidbits images, by the way, so it's all courtesy of them. Moving up to about Myrtle Beach here in the next frame by the time we get to this evening. And then by the time we get to Saturday morning, it's off the Outer Banks, North Carolina, and then continues off into this area here. You can see this is now Saturday night. You're just getting some rain just right down here in Delaware and extreme southern New Jersey, and that's it. But then it starts to pull closer and retrograde and pull back to the coast, and you're going to get these bands and waves of rain and wind coming through here, and that's going to be later Sunday. But you can see the interior now is completely dry, so we're not expecting much of the rain to come too far inland. This looks like mainly a southeast of I-95 event now. Everything northwest of I-95 should just be in the clouds. You're definitely going to be the clouds. It's going to be breezy. Not a complete miss, but I'm really siding with the idea that southeast of 95, that's pretty much your cutoff for rain. And then the battering rain will be right along the shore points. And then this thing kind of meanders out here offshore, but we are going to be baking. We're going to have the temperatures go up, and we're going to have, by the time we get to midweek, we'll be back into a heat wave again. As we go into the GFS ensemble, this shows if you run the GFS an additional 20 times and blend it with the GFS run, you have 21 members blended together. This is the forecast mean, so it's a little bit west of where the operational is, but it's really here in a prime spot of making it so it'll batter the shore points with high winds and heavy rain. So it gives us better confidence that the system will be generally in this direction or in this area, and it's been showing this for a couple of days now, so this is no surprise. Now we're going to do a close-up here. This is looking at Saturday evening, and we're going to move forward from this point, from Saturday evening, and then we're going to Saturday overnight. You can see the system starting to move up to the north. You're getting some rain and some wind coming into the coast. Now, one of the reasons why this is happening, and the reason why it's pushing back towards the coast, is you have this high pressure right here building over the top of the system. We talked about this in previous videos. So this system is going to be attempting to go up this way, but it can't run through this block here. It just runs into consider like a brick wall. It can't run through it. So it tries to, it slows the system down, and then it tries to back toward this way, toward the coast, And then as the high relaxes, it starts to finally pull east, but that might be a several-day process. So it's going to do one of these numbers just like this. And then because it is doing that, you're going to have these waves of rain. They're going to come into our area. And here's a look at early Sunday morning. Here's Sunday afternoon. You can see it's starting to push back to the west now. And then look at the next frame. You got that really pushing back up against the coastal region. But you can see the rain's really not getting too far inland. Not at all. But you're getting some rain all the way back to about I-95 here as we get into Sunday evening. So if in the interior here, I wouldn't worry too much. Northwest of I-95, just because it looks like it's just going to be clouds and it's going to be breezy, windy, even where it's not raining. You're going to wind gusts here that are 15 to 25 miles per hour in the interior. Along the coast, we could have gusts. I think the winds here are generally going to be 20 to 40, gusts over 50, right along the immediate shore points. Once you get inland, you get that friction working against it and things like that, buildings and whatever that slows down winds. And then you have the winds will decrease as you go away from the shore points. But right along the shore, you're going to have some coastal flooding, some beach erosion, and also going to have some flooding in the back bays and channels. So you have to watch for that as well. I just don't think we're going to get into the really, really heavy rain that was originally expected. So once we get into Monday, this is going to start to improve. Early Monday is going to be a little dicey, but then this system's going to start pulling away. So it's going to be one of those deals where even at the shore points, it starts improving. Now, it's not going to be sunny out, but it's going to be improving as the day wears on, and then as this system continues to pull away, we're going to start seeing breaks of sun here at the shore. Still going to be breezy for a couple days, but then as this pulls away, things will start getting better. We're going to look at the winds now. This is the wind aspect, and this is why I said it's going to be very important right along the shore points to pay attention to this, especially because as you go forward from this point, and this thing starts to really ramp up and begins to retrograde toward the coast. You can see right along the coast here, you're getting battered by winds. These wind gusts here are all in the 40 to 50 range here in these yellows. When you get in the orange here, above 50. So, some pretty strong winds coming in here at the coast, and that's why we're concerned right along the coastal points. And this is looking at Sunday afternoon and then Sunday evening. This is now Sunday evening. You can see everybody along the coast, Delaware all the way up to Sandy Hook, getting some pretty strong wind gusts here. And these are sustained about 40, 50 miles per hour. And so some pretty good gusts here along the shore points. That's what we're worried about as far as the beach erosion and the coastal flooding aspect of things. But then this thing starts to pull away, and you can see here by the time we get to Monday, the impacts start lessening. Still going to be remaining breezy, but it's not pushing up against. That's the big deal. When this thing was a couple frames ago, and we go back to right here, when it's in this position like this, and you have high pressure sitting right here, you have the flow around high pressure is in this way like this. The flow around low pressure is in like this. So you're getting a constant flow of air coming in from the northeast and battering the coastline, and that's what we're going to have because of this system in this vicinity here. But again, the interior, much calmer winds. Not dealing with much in the way of gusts further inland. This is not a Sandy. This is not making landfall on South Jersey, so and not nearly as strong. So I don't want anybody to worry about it. This is the last video update we're going to do now until Saturday morning. We'll do another update just to see where we are with track of this system. But right now, it looks like the coastal points are going to take the worst of this impact. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich, and that is your special edition update for Hermine, and we'll have another one again tomorrow morning. Stay tuned.